This is episode number 291 of the Homeowner Show. Well, whether you're DIY or looking to hire, we're here to help you find the best information and options for you and your home. My name is Kevin Hackett, and here with me is Craig Williams.
Hello, and welcome to the Homeowner Show. We're so glad that you could join us. Live episode here in the studio. How you doing, Kev?
You know what? I think I'm okay.
Think you're okay?
I think I'm okay. It's been a week.
It's been a week.
And isn't it Monday?
Oh, it is Monday.
Tomorrow is Tuesday, which is the day this episode will come out. But if you're watching live, the bumpity bump. It's been a while since we've had that.
Yeah, hello, old friend.
That's right. If you're listening to this live, it's already been a week and it's Monday.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
So,
how are you?
I'm good, man. We got a cool episode for you guys. We're gonna be talking some politics with the whole Trump rally assassination attempt, which I think that's like a word that's been banned, but I don't even know.
We'll get into that.
We'll get into that, yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about some hurricane prep that Kev and I did to get ready for Beryl, which apparently there's some confusion over the name.
There was confusion. There is no longer any more confusion. It is not Beryl, which is what I thought it was. Shocker that I would think something wrong.
We learned a thing or two about naming hurricanes.
Yes, we did. Well, yeah, and let's just put it out there real quick. I mean, if you don't know, it's the first one's male, the second one's female, the next one's male, the next one's female, and so that's the way they do it.
To all of you that hate your daughters, here's a great name for you.
Yes, that's right. And apparently, according to the National Hurricane Center, it is Beryl. Yeah, bear like the paint, they said, and with a rill on the end.
Rill.
Just the dumbest description ever.
Yeah, if this is your name out there, please send us a note. We'd love to get to meet you.
Yeah. Yes, we'll let you come on the show and defend yourself.
Bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
All right, before we get into it, we want to thank our sponsors. We got Lone Star Appliance Repair. Guys, if you look, here, at least here in the Houston area, we just had a lot of appliances take a beating.
Yes, they did.
Either they had, inconsistent power or power surges, or maybe they got some water damage from the hurricane. Anyway, we got a lot of appliances that are down for the count, but not for long. If you call Lone Star Appliance Repair, they can probably get them back up and running and get your house back to normal. Before you know it, they've got the parts, they've got the staff, they got the techs, they got the office people ready to send out help.
That's it.
Get your appliances back up and running. Or maybe you just have an old appliance that you got a lot of love and memories with, and you just want to restore it.
It'll be cheaper.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as it's not like a massive problem, it'll be cheaper to pay someone to repair it than it will be to buy something new.
Right. Yeah. So give them a call. Kev, you got the number?
It is 936-647-2364, 936-647-2364, and you can also text that number.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll get somebody to you.
That's right.
This show is also sponsored by True Texas Solar. Let me tell you, these guys' phones have been ringing off the hook.
You think it's time to get solar?
I can't tell you the number of social media posts that I saw. I was like, how are you solar people faring out there? And every single one of them was like, we're doing fine.
We're good.
Yeah, we got the solar power panels. Yeah. We got the battery. House
the generator
powered up. Not only that, in the midst of the storm and everything, CEO over there, Josh, went out and bought it was like a trailer full of portable generators.
Yep.
And he was
the one that I use.
Oh, is it the one you use?
The one I have in my house.
Yeah, and he was selling them, and some people were like, well, how dare you try and price he was not price gouging anybody. I know the cost of those
they're just actually really good generators. And they're expensive because they're tri-fuel, which means they're gasoline and propane and natural gas.
Which they're fantastic.
They're fantastic.
And so he was really just trying to help people, get people power, because you get a tri-fuel and you especially in a situation like this, because you don't know what people have access to. And let me tell you, getting gasoline during this hurricane was a nightmare.
It's been awful.
If you weren't prepared, it was a nightmare. Yep. And so, but maybe you have natural gas, maybe you have some propane tanks, and you can get that generator up and running. Anyway, they came to the rescue, helped a lot of people out, got people back up on their feet, got power into their houses. Honestly, most people weren't looking for air conditioning. They were just looking to save their food.
Right.
So anyway, these guys are here to help. They're gonna provide you with a well thought out plan to get your house off the grid. You can't technically get off the grid, I know, but they want you to be your own power plant.
As close as you can.
Yeah. And so that way, when things like this happen, you have options that other people don't.
That's right.
So give them a call. Kev, what do we got for them?
936-286-8325. That's 936-286-8325.
Yeah, and call any of our sponsors. Let them know you heard about it on the Homeowner Show. That way they know that we're actually doing our job.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Letting people know. All right, man. What a crazy couple of weeks.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where when it comes to hurricanes, people in Houston know that they're coming at some point. But I think we forget because, I mean, the last one that we really had to deal with was Harvey.
Right.
That was 2017. So it's been 7 years. And, you know, first of all, there are a lot of people that move into the area since that time. People have been coming from California like in droves. And I just think that people generally think, oh, it'll be fine. We can ride it out for a little bit.
Right.
Let me tell you what. Hurricane Harvey was a completely different storm than this because Hurricane Harvey came in, set over the city of Houston and the this kind of southeast area for about 4 days, and it just dumped rain, almost 60 inches of rain over that amount of time.
There was a whirlpool at the end of my property.
Yes,
I mean it was nuts.
Yes, it was crazy. And so this storm is I've heard a lot of people liken it to Ike.
I think it's a fair comparison.
Yeah, and so basically this thing, pun intended, barreled in here, and it just came through, and it just kept moving, went all the way through. But you got 80 to 100 mile an hour winds coming through, just ripped trees out of the ground, splintered things like crazy. I mean,
I've never seen so many down trees.
Yeah, I mean they're everywhere.
I think this is like a compounded thing that we have. So we had like the winter storm that kind of weakened a lot of trees.
It did.
And they probably recovered. But then we had the massive drought last year.
I was going to say the drought was what made things really bad.
Really bad. And I think some of those roots kind of came back up.
They did, and then we had crazy amounts of rain at the beginning of the summer
Softened
that
all
just
the dirt
softened
up.
all of it.
And when the wind came, it just knocked everything over.
Knocked it over.
We had one in our neighborhood. The tree fell on the power line and ripped it out of a house.
Oh my goodness!
And so we had a power line underneath the tree.
Oh,
yeah. And then there was another one where and that was on a loop, so it was okay. People could still get to their properties. But there was another one that fell across the road, and it landed on top of a gas line.
Oh man!
And so, but like we got out there and got half of it cut off, and it was on the side of the road that wasn't the gas line. And as soon as we got that out, I mean, we got out of the way because right about that time the fire department showed up because we called them and said, "Hey, gas." And we didn't know if it had been punctured or what, but we just knew some people were trapped.
Sure.
And so we moved quick to try and get the tree out of there.
Yeah, it was just one of those storms that the aftermath caused such widespread power outage and a lot of destruction. A lot of people who have trees on their house, they have trees blocking their house, they have trees through a window. Lots of those types of things happen. But again, the biggest concern that people have, like you said, was not having power. Right. And one of the nice things about the end of a hurricane is the first day-ish afterwards tends to be kind of cool.
Yeah.
The temperature's mild.
It was like at really night, helpful. It was like in the mid-60s. It was low 70s the next morning. It felt like but then it heated up.
Of course. And then like 2 days later had like a massive heat wave, really, with excessive heat warnings all over the place.
Yep.
And so, people without power, people without the way to get power, and we still have people today. We're a week to the day away from the storm.
Right.
People still, many millions of people still without power.
I think right now we're somewhere between 400,000 and 500,000.
Okay,
that are without. Right
okay,
now.
So I'm a little bit off there.
No, I mean like
it's
a
still
day ago, you were probably not wrong.
And so people are pointing their fingers at one company in general. But here's the thing, and I'm not giving a pass to anybody. But what I am going to say is certain companies service certain areas. And if you're in a certain area where it was worse than another area and you had power stations that are taken out, then you had lines that are not just down, but they're broken.
Right.
And now you got to get new supply in, new materials in. Then you got to get enough people to put it in. And they have to start at the station. then go to the lines, and then go to people's houses. Like there's a process for how that happens. And so I know a lot of people are really upset. They're going, hey, how dare they put us in a situation where we have no power? And again, I'm not giving anybody a pass. What I am saying is I really don't think these companies are going, well, let's just screw these people. Well, let's just make sure they don't get power for a little while. You know what I mean?
I don't know all the details on how that works. I mean, like I know the company you're talking about, Centerpoint.
It is.
I mean, people dog on it. I mean, it's not hard to find. People dog on it all the time. We can't really speak to it because you and I aren't Centerpoint customers.
We don't have it. Never have.
And we're Mid-South people.
That's right.
And like even for us, man, like we've been at this property close to 10 years now. This is the first time we've been without power for multiple days.
Yeah, which we didn't have that problem. We were out of power for 18 hours.
Right.
We were fortunate as far as that goes. But I think that there were a lot of Mid-South customers that had less, more time without power. But again, I think that there is somewhere along the line where ERCOT and some of these other, down the line where we're going, man, our grid has to get fixed. Something has to get fixed. Now, the down power lines, I don't know what to do about that. I mean, you got trees falling on the lines, breaking them, busting up power stations, all this kind of stuff. Those are massive problems.
Right.
And unless you have a scenario where you've got underground electrical lines running, which a lot of the Woodlands actually does have,
yes,
then you're going to deal with power lines. It just is what it is.
Well, even though a lot of the Woodlands is buried, they still had a lot of people without power for multiple days.
They did.
So it doesn't. You can't put everything completely underground.
No.
But a lot of people are saying, like, look, if we could put most of it underground, we could have avoided a lot of this.
A lot of it.
And what a lot of people are pointing out is, and rightfully so, is like, look, like we are getting no say as to how we spend our tax dollars. and so like we're sending gobs of money to like support wars and all this kind of stuff. Like, could we take a portion of that and just fix our grid?
Right.
And I don't think they're being ridiculous.
No, I don't either.
And it's not that there's not causes that are worthy of supporting, and we need to support our allies and all this kind of stuff. But at some point, and here's the thing, I think both parties need to just fess up and be like, look, if you're not happy with the way that your tax dollars are being spent, vote somebody else in.
True.
I mean,
true.
It's just.
We do have a little power.
We have yeah.
We do.
So, I mean, and look at the person who represents you and look at their record as to how they voted to spend your money.
That's right.
And if you're not happy with that, vote for the other person.
Yeah, or vote at all.
Or just vote.
There's so many people that just don't vote.
Yeah.
And you do know that, like, if you work for a business, they have to let you off to go vote?
Oh, yeah.
You do know that, right? Like, if you don't, listen to me. They have to let you off to go vote.
I know that, but like every year, it's like voting should be a national holiday, and it's like
no, it doesn't need to be.
They have to let you off.
They have to. They have to let you off, and it's going to take you all 20 minutes to go do it or
also,
whatever.
The polls are typically open after business hours.
Yes, they are.
So
or before business hours.
Or before business hours.
That's right.
So anyway, there's a way to remedy this.
There is.
I don't know that burying them is like the.
I mean, can you imagine the amount of infrastructure problems that would cause to try to bury all of the lines that we have around here?
I don't know that it would. I mean, because you could probably do it simultaneously.
Maybe.
Keep the lines in the air while you bury the new ones.
I'm just thinking like all of the places that you got to bury, like just massive amounts of digging.
Well, I mean, but like we have companies like we interviewed the CEO of Tacus.
Yeah.
Those guys have been burying lines.
Yeah, they have.
Everywhere in Montgomery County.
And they're doing it.
And they're the fastest growing internet provider around, and they're killing it.
It's a good point.
So, I mean, like there are people out there that understand how to do this and how to keep people happy in the process. And I'm not saying that data lines are the same as power lines. I know that they're different.
Sure.
But, I mean, burying something is burying something to a certain degree.
Yep.
So, like, we could figure it out.
Yep. There's a lot of actual tunneling that happens more than burying, if you really want to look at it that way.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the infrastructure might already be there.
It might be.
We know.
I don't know. Well, I know this, like, there so we have Mid-South. You mentioned that earlier. So when we put my mother-in-law's home in, our transformer, which is above ground, would not carry an entire load for her circuit. So they put in a new transformer on our property that would actually be able to hold hers and ours if we really wanted to change, and it was buried. So I think if nothing else, like anytime you got to go in and fix something, just fix it by changing it.
Yeah.
You know, there may be,
And when you do it the best way possible.
that's right. There may be an alternative way to do that, but I think we should kind of talk a little bit about like, what did you do, and then how did your family, or how does your home kind of survive the whole thing, and I'll talk about mine too.
Yeah, I mean, what I definitely want to talk about in this episode is some of the things that you and I did,
Right.
and like things that we learned.
Sure.
So we had generators.
Yep.
And,
Multiple.
Well, by the time it was over, yeah.
Okay.
So I had mine,
Okay.
and my father-in-law went and got another one.
Okay.
2 days in.
Okay. First of all, what did you have, and where did he find one, and what did he get?
Oh, he had a friend that had one.
Oh,
And
okay.
It was a Ryobi.
Okay.
I mean, it was pretty standard.
Okay.
It's a cool little generator.
Sure.
Mine is a Briggs & Stratton,
Uh-huh.
and I think we figured out the other day it's about 18 years old.
Oh, wow.
It is a beast.
And well, Briggs and Stratton is one of the best motors ever built
Yeah.
for small engines.
And I think it's like 8,500
okay.
watts.
Okay.
I mean, back up a little bit. Friday, before the hurricane hit, we had put 300 pounds of beef in the deep freeze from a cow that we had raised and split with my dad.
Okay.
And so when I saw that hurricane coming, I was like, look, I don't care about much, but that's a lot of money sitting in that deep freeze.
Yeah, it is.
So
That's a lot of.
I
money.
was like, I don't care what happens, I'm not losing that. And so I
Sure.
was honestly more prepared because of the cow than anything. So we had probably 20, 30 gallons of gasoline.
Okay. Did you have those in like regular?
Yeah, just
red cans.
Yeah, just regular red cans.
So you had a bunch. You had probably what, 6 of those then?
Yeah.
Okay.
And but like I'm fortunate. I have a really big shop.
Yeah.
I can store a lot of stuff.
Sure.
A lot of people don't have that.
Correct. Yep.
That ability.
Yep.
So we had the ATVs all gassed up. We had the 4-wheeler gassed up. I mean, we had everything gassed up
Right.
before anything hit.
Right.
So in that regard, we were plenty prepared.
Okay.
We had plenty of food because the deep freeze was full, and plenty of water. We'd stocked up on water, and so like all the normal hurricane things were done.
Okay.
We had plenty of extension cords. I mean, we basically ran the generator during the day and turned it off at night.
Okay.
And just because I didn't want to have to like get up in the middle of the night and
Pour more gas in.
or just mess. I didn't want anything to happen to it while I couldn't be around.
Sure.
One of the other things that we did, so our house is, because it's 3 stories, the second and third story got really hot during the day.
I'm sure it did.
Not only because like it was just Texas and hot,
Yeah.
but like our kitchen's on the second floor, and so anytime we cooked food, it just heated up
Right.
everything.
But you have a gas stove, right?
Yes.
So that you can still cook on that. Is your oven gas, or is it
Our oven
electric?
is gas, but you
Okay.
have to have electricity to run it.
Okay. Okay.
So, but I don't care.
Yeah. Right.
So, I mean, we also have like all of our grills and
Yeah,
propane
yeah.
cookers. I mean,
Sure.
like, we could cook food.
Sure.
No problem. And our water heater is gas as well.
Okay.
And that ran the whole time.
Yeah.
So we were able to take, hot showers if we wanted to.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is at night, I brought the swamp cooler
Oh,
in
nice.
the house.
Okay.
And that dropped the temp 20, 25 degrees.
Oh, I bet.
Because we were running the fridges during the day, we could make ice.
Oh, yeah.
And so I would empty the ice makers
Okay.
into the swamp cooler.
Nice.
And so it was running ice water
Nice.
through that thing, and it cooled off everything. It did. I mean, it wasn't as good as like air conditioning by
Of course
any
not.
stretch of the, but like it made it comfortable.
Right.
So we were able to sleep, and that made things.
Were you running that off the Ryobi generator? Or were you running that off your main generator?
We were running that off the main generator.
Okay, because I was thinking you said you shut that off.
We did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but like we would